The satisfaction of watching your enemy's nexus collapse is one of life's ultimate pleasures. But there are a lot more reasons why people love MOBAs so much. Welcome to Gamer Jooce. Today we've rounded up the top 10 reasons why people love MOBAs. If you're not already a fan, then you'll definitely be convinced by the end of this video. Let's get started with number 10. It's time consuming. Kicking off on our list, we have the simple fact that MOBAs are very time consuming. But you know what? Sometimes we want to have our time consumed. And there's nothing like a competitive MOBA to suck you in and realize you've just skipped through several hours of your day. MOBA games can't be paused, so there's no time to glance at the clock and decide it's time to go take a walk or sneak in a snack. So if you have a lot of time to spare, you're probably drawn to the engaging way MOBA games suck you in. A match is what? About 20 minutes long or more. Time flies by match after match, and it's a great way to wind down after a day's work or a fun way to spend those lazy summer days. Moving on forward to number 9. There are a million ways to play. A lot of people are deterred from playing video games, especially MOBAs, because they have the misconception that players are just doing the same thing every time. MOBAs are so much more than that. Yes, all MOBA games share the same end goal, which is destroying and going after the enemy structures in order to reach their main structure. But what differentiates MOBAs from all other genres are unique aspects like character selection, abilities, and items that ensure that each game is different from the last. From the moment you step into the battle arena, the game depends on your personality and how you wield your weapons and character abilities. No two people play the same character the same way, and two people have an identical playstyle. Combine that with two teams, and the probability that the game will be exactly the same as a game that you played before is next to non-existent. Now we go to number 8. They don't require complicated tech. Our number 8 reason as to why people love MOBA games so much is because MOBAs don't require a lot of hardcore tech. More often than not, there's a MOBA for each type of PC you have. So people don't need those crazy expensive and top-of-the-line gaming laptops to log in on the MOBA scene. It may run a little slower on the side if you don't have the best specs, but you'll still enjoy it. Then we have number 7. It's free! And one of the best parts about MOBAs is that a lot of them are actually free to play. If you take a look at the 3 biggest monster games in PC MOBA games, Dota 2, League of Legends, and Heroes of the Storm, then you'll notice that all 3 use a somewhat similar free-to-play model. So players get to enjoy these amazing games by just downloading them and playing as much as they want without paying an extra cent. Of course, money is involved, but not to an unnecessary extent that comes in the way of enjoying the game. As we know, a giant part of MOBA games is the selection of heroes or champions we choose from, and the games only offer a limited number of free heroes. If you want to unclock the cooler characters, then you'll need to earn a lot of the game's currency, which also doesn't require real money. What does require real money are aspects that don't directly affect the gameplay or give an unfair advantage to players willing to open their wallets. Things like cosmetic unlocks, skins, voice liners, and banners are what draw players to pay up. But again, it's completely optional. Moving forward to number 6. They're very competitive. Sure, you can play MOBAs casually, but the majority of the players are hardcore competitors who are addicted to the blood-rushing and insult-hurling aspects of the games. Of course, toxicity is bad, but when the enemy team is insulting your team and coming at you, there's nothing more satisfying than gloriously defeating them in battle. MOBAs give you the ability to return again and again to reclaim that win you lost, and repeat the glory of the epic match you did win. So if anyone has a competitive side, they'll be right at home with a MOBA game. Now we have number 5. MOBAs are fair. This remarkable reason why people love MOBAs so much is divided into 2 points. The first is the fact that MOBA games are fairer than others. How? Everyone starts out at the same level, so no matter your financial circumstances, You're on equal grounds with the other players. The second part of MOBAs being fair is that there's a lot less cheating involved. That's not to say there aren't any. League of Legends players will never stop trying to find anti-fog cheats. But those cheats aren't as intrusive as some of the FPS cheats. In addition, MOBA games simply aren't built for an easy win, as they're not predictable. Moving forward to number 4. Easy to play, hard to master. Here is perhaps the most popular reason why people love MOBA games. It's the amount of skill needed. You don't need a lot of technical skills. No amount of technical skill will aid in the long run because what you need to have is experience. Even the most seasoned players have to memorize the game, maps, and tactics. This is why the key to appeal to all sorts of demographics, whether you are looking for some light fun or some hardcore competition, MOBAs will accommodate your mood. And most characters are relatively easy to play. Once you get to know which characters fit best with your style and strategy, then mastering them isn't hard at all. This is why people migrated from fighting and FPS games to MOBAs, because the FPS and fighting games actually do require a lot of technical skills at the higher levels. And MOBAs also require strategy and teamwork more than anything. The amount of elements and variables that are crammed into a single game is insane. So MOBAs require a lot more strategy than your classic real-time strategy game. Take Call of Duty, for example. Reflexes and aiming skills are a major part of what you need to master. The other is map memory. MOBAs and even real-time strategy games positioning are much easier to grasp. Lastly, unlike some RTS games, MOBAs boast of having easy-to-understand controls. Then we have number 3, Esports. Esports, of course. This is one of the top reasons why people love and keep up with MOBAs. This genre is extremely entertaining and watchable as it's easy to understand and keep up with watching someone else play. Because everyone plays from the same top-down view, you, the spectator, share the same perspective exactly as the player you're watching. But you also get to see a lot of what's going on, like team fights. Watchability-wise, MOBAs are very straightforward. You don't need to be incredibly well-versed in the hero's abilities. This is how esports have an advantage over physical sports. There are no crazy complex rules to watch out for. Viewers can easily catch on what's happening on the fly. On the other hand, MOBA games and esports resemble physical sports for the fact that an average sport has 2 teams on a large open field, and you get to sit in the stands and watch the entire game from a single vantage point. So what's not to unlike a MOBA? And hey, it can just come to it being really entertaining to watch our favorite games battle it out in the arena. Now we have number 2. Friendships are forged. Our number 2 reason is this. The deepest friendships are forged in the throes of battles. MOBAs are all about teamwork. So forget about all those times your parents fought against the idea of video games because they thought games made you socialize less. MOBAs require cooperation and teamwork in order to destroy the enemy team. When your team stops being agreeable, then the game is lost. The in-game mechanics ensure it. MOBA games also have reporting systems that report troll, unfriendly, and unresponsive players. Community toxicity aside, the camaraderie is admirable. Also, MOBAs are just a cheap way to have a blast with your real-life friends. If you don't have a device that can operate a MOBA at home, then any PC cafe will accommodate you for just a few bucks. So if you and up to 4 of your friends are ever feeling bored and competitive, then a MOBA will sort you out. And finally, we have number 1, that sense of achievement. We saved the top reason for last. Our number 1 reason why people love MOBA games is because of that satisfying sense of achievement and the mere joy we gain from playing. Whether you have gloriously led your team to victory and vanquished your enemy, or you were a key part of assisting that final killing strike, MOBAs play on that victory-seeking part of ourselves. That extremely rewarding aspect goes both ways. So while it can cause the most patient of players to snap after losing because your teammates were trolls, it's beyond rewarding to execute a strategy and get a well-deserved win. And that's a wrap for 10 reasons why people love MOBAs. What's your reason for loving the MOBA genre? Leave your answer in a comment below. We would love to know. Also, make sure to like the video, subscribe to our channel for more awesome content, and click on the notification bell below to be notified whenever we upload new videos. Thank you for watching and see you next time.